We got a older unit here, and it's completely out of refrigerant. And when I was running it, there was no cooling at all on the coil, and also the sound, you could hear it was out. And so I leak check. 9 times out of 10 it's the evaporator where the leak is, in particular because of corrosion on the copper and from the water in the air. And I leak check this evaporator. It's actually tight. This leak detector is very sensitive. There's a reference leak of about an ounce, actually 1/10 of an ounce per year, and the leak detector easily picks that up. So I check around on both sides of the coil, and typically the leak detector starts going bananas whenever there's a leak, just getting near the unit because it's so sensitive. So the coil's tight. I'm going to head up to the roof and see what I find. I wanted to show what bad refrigeration practices look like. So this customer, the system's completely flat and out of refrigerant. So I leak check, and the evaporator is actually fine downstairs. And what the leak is, you can see right here with the bubbles. The service cap was never tightened down. Well, actually it is tight, but it didn't have lubrication or seal, in it, and to prevent the leak. And then here's the bad service practice. You see the cap on the other side is not even installed, like they didn't bother, to put it in. And then another bad air conditioning practice is that there's no cap on the low pressure access either. It just has a little valve core in it, which in this case it wasn't leaking there. The leak is up top, and should have had a cap here. This one should have been tightened down with oil or with thread sealant. This one should have had a cap on it. And this is an original unit, running 18 years old, but it's still kicking. Usually, I don't see this very often. Most of the time it is the evaporator that leaks. This would be the 1 out of 10, where it's not the evaporator. Yeah, I just added more soap. You can see how big the leak is. I mean, this size leak, the system will be flat in a few days. Sure enough, the cap was loose, and it was never oiled or tightened when it's put on. I have a neat little substance here, which is great on any sort of brass to brass, called Nylog, that fixes any leak on a brass to brass mechanical joint. You can see it right there. I always do this when I put in new units. Get these caps sealed, and this is actually refrigeration oil with the polymers, which they act like a spider web and block the leak. And then I'm going to come back, I'm going to put a cap there. When I get one from another unit, it's not leaking though right now, the other one. Tighten the valve down, tighten it down, and no more leaks. Yeah, it just so happens to be more bad refrigeration practices. This is a new unit somebody else put in. No cap. No cap. Well, it seems to be hand tight anyway. There. I see that all the time.